Yoga Summit 2020 on the occasion of the International Yoga Day. It's a great privilege for me to speak on Dhyana on this occasion from the perspective of Sri Patanjali Maharshi. As we have learnt so many things in terms of Bahiranga Yoga, Antaranga Yoga, certainly Dhyana, the element of Dhyana comes from the Antaranga Yoga. The first four, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, they do come from the external yoga or Bahiranga Yoga. And the Pratyahara onwards, where Pratyahara, Ahara means the food. For physical body, the food is in form of the physical food, in the form of biryani, idli, whatever food that you take, a varan bath. But for the mind, but for the spirit, the food is the inputs through sense organs. So if we can arrest the input from sense organs by way of closing eyes and staying in a silent area, no obnoxious smells and no tactile sensations whatsoever. So the sensory organs move within, and this moving within can be called as a pratyahara, and this type of consciousness where we internalize the external senses, it can be called as the pratyak chetana. So when it comes to dhyana, which is the aftermath of dharana, once we internalize the senses through the method of pratyahara, dharana, the sustained awareness, steps in. And as the previous speaker told, desha means an area, not a spot, a pinpoint, like bija. We have not come to the bija state or even nirbija state. So it is an area. So that area is Patanjali calls as pratyaya. Pratyaya means the object of attention. Gautam Buddha calls it as thapana. What is pratyaya for Patanjali is thapana for Gautam Buddha. The object of attention, which is an area, exactly. So the area where you put your attention is a subjective phenomena. As I told, be it a mantra, be it om, be it breath, be it whatever, tratak or nasikagra, bhrumadya, kutastha, hara area, the Jain people practice at hara area, the lower abdominal area, nabhi chakra area. So different people have different ways of going within. Everything is fine. But what is most important is the state of consciousness that is happening as an aftermath of dharana. That is very important. The extended dharana or continued dharana or sustained dharana or even more focused dharana is dhyana. So what starts or begins with dharana must have to continue as dhyana, where the cessation of thoughts is even more deeper. The only difference between dharana and dhyana is depth, the degree of silence, the degree of internalization, the degree of focus. It differs only in degree, nothing else. The reason why Patanjali calls it as tatra pratyayai kathanatha dhyanam. Tatra pratyayai kathanatha dhyanam. So the pratyaya or desha, the point of attention, the place of attention, should flow like the flow of river. The same awareness, the attention of awareness from dharana stage flows continuously, even more focused way, even more sustained way into the dhyana sthiti. So dhyana is a word which is most often misunderstood, wrongly used as a technique and tool to go within. While the fact is, the truth is, as Patanjali says, it is the flow of attention basically. It is a flow of deepened attention, to be more precise. So the state of deep attention, the state of deeper consciousness that is attained through sustenance can be called as dhyana. So dhyana is the state of consciousness rather than a name given to tool and technique. The spiritual market often uses dhyana as a tool and technique. We are conditioned to make believe that this is my way of doing meditation. What is your way of doing meditation? So we always differ in terms of methods of meditation, while the state of meditation is common to all through whatever which method you practice and follow in. So we always have, because of conditioned habits of robotic thinking, habitual thinking, we always differ from each other in terms of techniques and tools of meditation. That is totally absurd from the point of yoga perspective. So we need to attain the state of dhyana consciousness. So for a couple of minutes, I would like to guide you all the meditative consciousness or dhyana consciousness. Shall we? Just sit straight, please. As Sandhya ji told, Stiram Sukham Asanam. So it is not about various postures. Patanjali never spoke about various postures. He spoke about only one thing, the principle of posture, that is Sukham. Stiram Asanam. So it has to be comfortable, and Stira. It has to be straight. So the only muscles in the body which need to be functional is paraspinal muscles, because these muscles are very much important to keep the spine straight and erect. So remaining all muscles need to be relaxed. The Himalayan traditions talk of Shitali Karana. So relax all the muscles, drop your shoulders, keep your head, neck, the spine in one straight line. Just watch the normal flow of breath. Normal flow means the way a child takes. When you inhale, see that the abdomen rises. When you exhale, the abdomen goes within. When you inhale, the abdomen rises smoothly, easily, passively. When you exhale, the abdomen goes within. Let the pratyaya, or the object of attention, be the lower abdomen. This is the most natural way of breathing, which we have forgotten when we have become the adults, the adulterated ones. Tatha pratyayai kathanatha dhyanam. The pratyaya should be the object of attention, to move within even more deeply. What begins with dharana has to continue as dhyana and must culminate as samadhi. I always suggest everyone to spend at least 5 times a day. Like we have Trikala Sandhya as per Sanatana Dharma. Because of increased stress, because of increased mental and physical activity in the modern world, I do advise all people in the world to observe meditation for at least 5 times, like namaz. Namaz means naman, the inner naman, the antaranga naman. So the 5 times, at least 5 minutes each time, one sitting can be a little longer. That makes the dhyanetara time, the non-meditative states, also more meditative. In Yama, Nitinji spoke about brahmacharya. It is not about simple celibacy, it is even more deeper. The charya means act from the consciousness of Brahma. Brahma means consciousness. From the deeper consciousness, doing all acts can be called as brahmacharya. And this should be practiced in the non-meditative hours, the daily hours, the daily life. So dhyana is a closed-eye meditation, the energy of which has to be used during non-meditative daily life. This makes the life more holistic, and see that the physical world and the inner world, the spiritual world, merge into one. The seemingly inseparable two worlds are one and the same. It is the same state of consciousness with which we have to see. Dhyana helps in a big way to make every moment of our daily lives meditative, every act of our life even more meditative. So, tatha pratyaya kathanatha dhyanam, it should flow like a river, no end. It should flow. The river flows. The nature of the river is to flow. It doesn't stop. The state of consciousness of dhyana has to flow. Whether you close the eyes, open the eyes, while you cook food, while you listen, while you talk, while you do anything in the world, the state of consciousness called as meditation has to be on flow. It cannot be arrested. It should not be ceased. So dhyana is a state of consciousness which we all need to master. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for a wonderful speech.
Sir, can I ask one doubt? This is Veeraswamy for Dr. Yugandhar.
Yes,
Sir,
please.
Yugandhar sir, thank you. It's a wonderful explanation. I am with you. But however, I would like one thing to be clarified, though I have my own explanation for that. I do follow a lot of Jiddu Krishnamurti's books and speeches and those things. So the one thing he time and again was saying was, you can sit in a room all alone, close your eyes, cross your fingers and all that thing, and keep breathing and breathing and breathing. You're not going to achieve and understand who you are unless you observe yourself without any prejudices, without any beliefs, without whatever kind of thing. So can you, so this is completely in contrast to all that we have been discussing through Yoga Sutras and those things, asanas. So can you please clarify on that? Thank you, sir.
Sir, I didn't catch your question.
Okay, Jiddu Krishnamurti says, you can do all this pranayama kind of thing for 1,000 years, but you are not going to realize who you are unless you observe yourself.
Okay.
Without any kind of, right? Whatever.
Got it. Yeah. Any scriptural study, any type of unprepared practices, any type of starvation for long hours, any type of penance doesn't come to the real result without the help of meditation. The process of going within is always ultimate. Once you get into the deeper aspects of meditation, you do not need anything whatsoever externally. You don't need any book, you don't need any scripture, you don't need any rules and principles, you don't need even a guru, you don't need any type of yoga summit, any guide, any neighbor giving you advice. You don't need anything. When you are able to go within and find the guru within yourself, the guru is always inside in the form of your own consciousness, not the wakeful consciousness, not the sleep consciousness, but a combination of both, a combination which is deeper. This is called as meditative consciousness or turiya state. A turiya state is a type of meditation consciousness where you are identified more with the space rather than the thoughts. Rather than the clouds, you identify more the space in between them. You are identified more with emptiness within, nothingness within. When you are identified with this deep silence within, which is your real guru, whatever that you speak becomes a Gita, which is otherwise called Udgita, the voice of silence. Ud means silence, Gita means voice. So, thousands and thousands of incarnations without meditation cannot make you wholesome. But a few moments of meditative consciousness can be a vital change in your entire cycle of incarnations. So, going deep within yourself to attain the meditative consciousness is the ultimate aim and purpose of this very physical existence. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I think you made one very subtle point, identifying ourselves with the emptiness inside of the space. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.